Simon,
Yeah.
you want to hop up the other end?
Yeah, I'll just get the video.
I'll talk my way through it, even if there's not much going on visually. It'll give you some reminder points. So tell me when you're both hot to trot.
Yeah, I'm all good whenever Simon is.
Can I get across the video? Yeah, we're on.
Okay, after placing the timber between centres, do the butt of the pencil trick and see if the timber's running true. We've got two corners there that are hitting the butt of the pencil and there's two missing. So these two corners here are sticking out a little bit further than the other side. So I've marked the one that needs tapping down. I've tapped that down. The other end, we've got them all touching, so they're all running true, but rather than just tighten it up with a tailstock, I still give it a bit of persuasion with the hammer so that the forces the timber up onto the spurs, then apply the tailstock pressure. Now, initially when I put the timber in, I didn't apply too much pressure to the with the tailstock. If you do that, the tailstock cone centre goes too far up into the timber, especially when you're using soft timbers, and you can't reposition it when you tap it down. Okay, so that's all running true. We now want to set our tool rest up. Tool rest for this diameter timber is about in line with centre height, or slightly below it. As the timber section gets larger, the tool rest height will come up. If you're doing anything smaller, it can go down a little bit. But here, just in line with centres or slightly below centres. The tool we'll use is a roughing gouge, and rather than going from one end of the job to the other. To take the corners off, we're going to scallop the corners off, just to make sure that small pieces are coming off initially, because if there's a split, it's most likely to be in that corner section if it's going to come out. Turning the lathe on, keeping the head out of the road. Then remember your feet position parallel with the lathe. At this stage you want to get rid of all the flaps. But because that's a cutting presentation, that is the grinding bevel well off the surface of the timber, you need smoothing. Smooth it. Use a variety of chisels. Cutting edge should be at 45 degrees to the axis. You rest the bevel down on the job. Pick it up a fraction until it starts to cut. We'll keep that shaving on the lower part of the centre. The other end, turn it round. Cutting a lot better that way than it is the other. Okay, we'll mark out the two basic shapes: convex, these, and concave hollow. V-cuts with the long point, start up reasonably high, lift the handle. Use a little bit of shoulder rotation and that'll get the tool coming in from the right, tilt it back to the right, lift the handle. On the left, handle to the left, tilt back to the left, lift the handle. The lift of the handle is not a push in, it slides beneath to lift the handle. rather than starting right at the centre line, start over towards the V-cut. You pick the shaving, this is important, to pick the shaving up just on the leading side of centre. That's the side of centre closest to the direction of your roll. We're rolling down there, we get nearly down to the bottom, and it'll require a lift of the handle to tuck it in. Same thing the left hand side, roll for about 60 degrees, the final one, rolling through 90 degrees, we're lifting the handle. Okay, so that's the convex roll. The concave, you start with a groove. Now we're going to widen and deepen that. On our final cut, the gouge is going to be right up on its edge. At this stage, start about halfway. We roll the gouge onto its back. Now here you'll notice I'm going in virtually horizontally as against up at the tangential angle. The reason we do that is remove that deflectional force of the rotation of the timber tending to push the gouge along the surface. By going in horizontally, the rotation of the timber comes down onto the gouge. You see each time the shaving is picked up on the leading side of centre. What's hard when you are learning is to have the confidence to commence the roll as soon as you pick the shaving up. What you tend to do is to get a bit nervous at this stage, but with practice you should be able to start that roll or almost immediately you pick the shaving up and then roll the gouge onto its back. Remember, you don't go up the other side. Righto. One of you, if Sue, while I think of it, if you put your email address down there, we'll be able to. Okay. Yeah. If one of you would be kind enough to flick that over to Sue.